Talking with the experts.
Want to know how to reach intent-based searchers interested in your product or service? Listen to Geoff Crain in episode 290.
I think that is the common thought is that is extremely difficult. It's technology, it's very complicated. And there definitely are nuances. And once you get to a high level of spend, it becomes extremely complicated for certain channels, for sure. But just to get started, if you have a base goal and you're looking for a small geo target, a small niche audience, and you have a relatively affordable small budget, you can still make it work and you can scale quickly. The best thing about digital marketing is you can always turn it off right away. I have a campaign on tonight that's not performing well. I can just press pause. It's a lot different than your traditional campaigns like TV or radio, where you're typically locked in for a set amount of time. You can always pause and then restart the campaigns for digital at any time. Good question. I think that basically the response that you see in the ads that do work on Google, they will trend over to TV and radio, not 100% of the time, but we do see a lot of carryover. If it's the same target audience, whether you're reaching them on Google, whether you're reaching them on TV or radio, the same message will work.
Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners, and you can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. Let me ask you this question. Do you use Google? Do you pay for ads on Google? Well, my next guest, Geoff Crain, is a Google expert, and we're going to be talking about paid search. And Geoff is a Senior Director of Sales and Marketing at Kingstar Media. He has been in the digital marketing and media sales industry for over 12 years. He has purchased over $100 million worth of performance-focused advertising across various platforms, and he enjoys helping business owners acquire new customers at their target cost. Welcome, Geoff, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Rose.
Yeah, so let me ask you how you got into helping others with their Google paid searches.
Absolutely. So my first foray into digital marketing, and my first part of my career, I worked for a large advertising agency, and I got put on the digital team. I focused on the brands Coca-Cola and Johnson & Johnson. One of the first things they had me do was learn Google search. It was still in its relative, I wouldn't say infancy, but people were still learning about it. It was a little bit more of the wild, wild west, an untapped space. So I really got my hands dirty and have watched the platform grow from in those 12 years and seen a lot of growth. And what I've found is that it's a great channel for intent-based searchers. People go to Google to look for a question to be answered, look for information about a certain topic, and it gives businesses and advertisers the opportunity to be top of mind and have their ad right below the search bar, and hopefully in response to that question. So, through various keywords, ad focused, marketing and research, we're able to place those ads for the effective intent-based search.
Well done. Now, tell me, how expensive is it to use Google Ads? I know that at the moment I've got a $600 bonus sitting there, and I've never placed an ad. So that's obviously a way to get me to buy ad space. So what is the expense, and how do people get into and feel comfortable with Google Ads?
Yeah, so the great thing about Google and even most of social or digital marketing in general is a lot of the information and the how to learn and become like a beginner or intermediate very quickly is all available online through YouTube videos, through Google has very many courses to take that are for free. It's very easy to learn the nuances so that you can easily build a campaign to start. In terms of costs, it's all based on a cost per click. So depending on the kind of vertical that you're in, certain verticals are obviously a lot more expensive than others. A vertical like a lawyers or medical those kind of keywords can be in the $50 to $100 range just for one click. Whereas, in auto insurance, credit repair, those kind of verticals, some of the clicks can be in the 50 cent to $1 range. So that makes it a lot more feasible for a smaller budget to play. You're also able to set your budget targets. You can set a daily budget of $5 to $10, or you can set upwards of $100,000 a day. So you can really scale it to whatever your daily or monthly budget is.
So in comparison to Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads, how cost effective are Google ads?
Yeah, so I think it all depends on your KPI, Rose. So really, what is your goal for marketing? And that will determine if it's effective. Certain channels like Facebook are better suited for businesses that are, less intent-based and more promotional-based, where they're looking to advertise a new product to a new service. LinkedIn is more professional. That's the vertical that you're playing in. So just understanding the ecosystem for each. LinkedIn typically is business owners looking there to communicate with other business owners or other business professionals. Facebook is more of a social channel, people looking to connect with friends and see what they're up to. And Google is more of a place where people are intent-based, looking for a response or an answer to something. So just understanding that each platform is a little bit different, and then formulating your objectives and messaging to each.
Now, keyword search is should be top of mind for any advertiser. How do you find the right keywords to be using so that you get, more eyes on your ad?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a number of tools out there. There are competitive research tools like SpyFu, spyfu.com. You can actually get a free trial. What you're able to do is, let's say you're, in the credit card company, your Visa, and you want to see what MasterCard is bidding on. If you type in mastercard.com into this competitor search tool, it will actually show you all the keywords that they're bidding on, and then the ads that they're using for those keywords. So you're able to see over the course of time, approximately, how much money a company has spent on a certain volume of keywords, and you can make the decision, be like, okay, well, this keyword now they have been spending for the last 12 months. It must be valuable for them. Maybe it's a chance for us to bid. Google also has what's called a keyword planner, where if you just type in any URL, it will give you the suggested list of keywords for it. If you type in, one main kind of broad-based term, like let's say health, it will come up with a number of keywords that are related to that. So between the keyword planner on Google and the competitive tools like SpyFu, that gives you the options to plan and attract the proper keywords.
So the keyword planner in Google, is that a paid platform or app, or is it free?
It is free. So every Google Ads account will have that keyword planner tool built in. You don't even have to spend any money to be able to access it. It's part of the platform and free for everybody to use.
Excellent. I guess, in intent-based searches, can you just explain what that term means?
Absolutely. So an intent-based would be if I'm looking to order pizza tonight. I haven't ordered pizza. Maybe I just moved to a new city or a new town, or I'm, there for business and I don't know where to order pizza from. So my intention is to find a place to order pizza from. So I'm going to go to Google. I'm in New York City for the weekend. Best pizza in New York City around me. I'm going to see now a number of pizza places in my area. Good chance some of those pizza places are actually using Google keywords bidding to bid on that exact term. So when somebody like myself bids on it, their company shows up right at the top. So that is an example of intent-based search. Somebody has an intention of finding something or getting an answer to something, and they go to Google for it.
Yeah, I would have thought that would have been what it is, but thank you for explaining that. It was terrific. Tell me a little bit about Kingstar Media.
Absolutely. So Kingstar Media is a performance-focused advertising agency. We've been in the market for 19 years, servicing primarily Canadian, not just Canadian clients, but American, European, South American companies that are looking to enter the Canadian market. We specialize in helping them grow and acquire customers here. We were built originally 19 years ago as a direct response production company, the traditional yell and sell infomercials. Call now, and if you call in the next 10 minutes, we'll give you 20% off. That's how the company was built. And over the last 19 years, we've really transitioned to focus to direct-to-consumer companies like Trivago, who have a set KPI, like a cost per visit, a cost per lead, or a cost per acquisition. And we're helping them acquire those customers and achieve those KPIs over traditional media like radio, print, and television, or online media, paid social, paid search, connected TV, and programmatic.
Excellent. Well, it's a big transition, really, isn't it, for funny ads to getting more serious into the advertising market.
Absolutely. I mean, back in the day, it's when the company started, it was kind of a joke. Oh, you do those infomercials, you work with the ShamWows, the Slap Shops, the Snuggies of the world. But that performance kind of marketing and advertising has really trended because brands are now looking to justify media spend. 15, 20 years ago, large brands could spend $10 million in a year and be like, okay, well, we achieved a set amount of impressions, we're good for the year. Now, a lot of them are publicly funded or privately funded companies, and they have to prove to their shareholders or their board of directors, okay, we spent this money and we generated X. So the best way to do that is to work with a performance advertising agency like us.
Yeah, I think advertising agencies, although you can find some shoddy ones, as long as you can find the really good ones, I think they're worth the money that you invest into them, because they can help you with all the things like intent-based searches and clicks per no, cents per click and
Yeah, comes with
cost
quick, yeah.
per click and
Yeah,
all of
absolutely.
those, and can help you understand and navigate through all those acronyms that that marketers use. So, sometimes find it difficult to understand what they mean.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, what is the best way to get started in creating an ad if you're totally new to the whole process without using a marketing agency?
Yeah, so I think, sorry, Rose, you broke up slightly, but I think the best way to get started is to really just do your research. Like I said, the best thing about digital marketing is that there are the free tools available, whether it's through paid social, paid search, anything that you're looking to do, there's probably a YouTube video of how to do it. Use the tools from Google. They have their own kind of blueprints. Facebook has their own blueprints and training softwares. Most of the time they're free or for a very low cost. So planning a strategy and having an idea, the best way we start with a campaign is understanding what that client is looking to achieve. What is their goal? Who is their customer? And then we go and plan the media strategy around that. So that would be my suggestion to anybody getting started. What is your goal for the digital marketing campaign? What client are you trying to acquire? And then from there, you can map back and decide the best avenue to attract them.
Okay, so is it possible then with Google Ads, say that you're tracking, the performance of a certain ad? Can you split test them or A/B test them? Is that possible?
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's multiple ways to do A/B testing. There are some softwares out there. If you're just looking to do it manually, Facebook and Google both offer what are called dynamic ads. So a dynamic ad would be, let's say that a typical ad has one headline, one description, and then one image. What a dynamic ad allows you to do is put in, let's say, 4 headlines, 4 descriptions, and 4 images. And what Facebook or Google will do then is kind of pair the best combination for that customer. And you can see over the course of time which ones they chose has the best combination. And from there, you can make the decision, okay, this was the best headline, this was the best image, this is the best main copy. You can understand what positioning is really resonating with the audience.
And what is a good length of time to have an ad? It's like 5 days, 7 days, 30 days.
Another great question, Rose. It really depends on the level of budget. Typically, what we like to do, if you have an acquisition cost of, let's just say $50, that's what your goal is to acquire a customer. We're looking to spend at least 10x that to figure out if this is worth the channel. So let's say for $50, $500 is the perfect budget for it. It gives you enough time to really judge if it's effectiveness. You can run for a little bit longer and make optimizations, but typically after 5 to 7 business days, we have a little bit of indication of if a channel or if a certain strategy is working or not.
So then it's, if you've split tested your ad and you find one that's, performing better than the others, can you continue with that particular ad and, ditch the rest?
Absolutely. So what we like to do is iterate. So we'll start with a new campaign. We'll have 4 different positionings for the same product. We'll probably find 1 or 2 that are the leaders. And from there, we'll iterate it slightly, perhaps just adding different colors, different text, emojis, just to slightly iterate that positioning and improve on it. And then from there, you can double down, and it's really, the possibilities are endless of how you want to position that top performing one.
Wow, it for someone like me that doesn't do a lot of paid advertising, it sounds like it's really simple. I always thought it was quite difficult.
I think that is the common thought is that is extremely difficult. It's technology, it's very complicated. And there definitely are nuances. And once you get to a high level of spend, it becomes extremely complicated for certain channels for sure. But just to get started, if you have a base goal and you're looking for a small geo target, a small niche audience, and you have a relatively affordable small budget, you can still make it work and you can scale quickly. The best thing about digital marketing is you can always turn it off right away. I have a campaign on tonight that's not performing well. I can just press pause. It's a lot different than your traditional campaigns like TV or radio, where you're typically locked in for a set amount of time. You can always pause and then restart the campaigns for digital at any time.
Yeah, and getting on to media campaigns like TV and radio, you know, are they Google ads transferable to those mediums or not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I think that basically the response that you see in the ads that do work on Google, they will trend over to TV and radio, not 100% of the time, but we do see a lot of carryover. If it's the same target audience, whether you're reaching them on Google, whether you're reaching them on TV or radio, the same message will work.
Excellent. That's excellent. That's I guess it's a plus, really, isn't it? If you want to, broaden your audience or the way you want to do stuff.
Yeah.
Geoff, tell me, where can people find you if they want to work with you?
Yeah, kingstarmedia.com. That's our website. We have a lead form there. Fill in, reach out to us. Our phone number, email, contact information is all there, and we'd love to hear from you.
And where else can they find out? Instagram, I see.
Yes, Instagram, Kingstar Digital, Facebook, Kingstar Media, Twitter, Kingstar Media. It's all one word, Kingstar Media. Very simple. It should be. We work very hard on our SEO, so you can find us on Google if you can't remember it. Just type in Kingstar and we'll be there.
Terrific. And just getting on to, you just mentioned SEO, and I didn't think to ask that question. Keywords, SEO, all that sort of thing. How do they marry together in an ad?
Absolutely. So SEM in that paid search, anybody can go on paid search and try to bid a certain amount to be on those one or two top results. For organic, the listings below the paid search, it takes a lot more work and a lot more time to be listed on that first page or in those first two results. Typically, the way that companies that we work with do it is a lot of PR, a lot of backlinking, a lot of content writing, basically focus around a set list of keywords that you want to rank high for. A lot of people give up on SEO after 3 to 4 months. They're not seeing results. You can put in the best strategy, put in the best amount of work, have the best team. It will still take you 6 to 9 months to really start seeing your page on that first page of the organic listings. So they're really completely different strategies. Paid search versus SEO. One's quick and it's very more easy to achieve those top positions with spending money. The second way on SEO is a lot more strategy focused, very consistent performance, and a lot of content writing, a lot of man hours to get those rankings.
Yeah, SEO takes a long time. Although I got a notification from Google a couple of weeks ago that my name ranks on the first page of Google. So I was like, oh my God, that's very impressive.
Yeah, that's great.
I thought, no, maybe they're just sending me a lie. I'm not really sure. Geoff, it's been an absolute pleasure. Have you got any words of wisdom that you would like to share with our audience today?
Yeah, I think my words of wisdom for digital marketing is things are always changing. You always have the opportunity tomorrow to try something new. Digital and social marketing is the best environment to test an idea. There's nothing more gratifying than having an idea or a product that you thought of. You start to see sales and gain traction online, and it's never too late to get started.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you'll come back again later in the year and we can discuss digital marketing a bit further.
I'd love that, Rose. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.